social media giant Facebook has introduced measures to try to bring greater transparency to socio-political advertising on its platforms in Singapore. These initiatives come less than a month after Singapore's Elections Department announced that a committee had been convened to review the current electoral boundaries. Now, that's the first formal step towards a general election.
Any person or organisation who wants to run ads relating to social issues, elections or politics in Singapore will need to confirm their identity as well as their location to prove they are based here. And they must also disclose who is responsible for the advertisement and provide their name, their organisation or a Facebook page they run in the paid for by disclaimer of such advertisements.
Now, Facebook says these requirements hold advertisers accountable for the ads they run on its platforms. This authorization process is also required for those who want to run advertisements relating to some social issues. Such authorizations could take anywhere from 2 days to a few weeks.
These socio-political advertisements will be placed in an ad library for 7 years, where members of the public can also see how much was spent on the advertisement, as well as how many people viewed it. And they will also be able to see the demographics of who viewed it, including information such as gender and age range.
Today's announcement by Facebook comes about 7 months after the social media giant announced it was setting up an operations center for election integrity in Singapore. That's in anticipation of key elections across the region. Foreign interference campaigns on social media had previously been shown to have influenced elections worldwide, including the 2016 US election and the Brexit vote in Britain.
Yesterday, Home Affairs and Law Minister Kay Shanmugam said laws were needed to deal with possible foreign interference campaigns. Now, for more, we're joined by Muhammad Faisal Rahman, a research fellow at the S. Rajaratnam School of International Studies. Faisal, thanks for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
Now, give us an idea then what we're talking about when we're talking about foreign interference campaigns and how they could affect a country like Singapore.
Okay, foreign interference can affect us in 4 ways. Firstly, it will target our individuals, such as political leaders, by undermining their political legitimacy. Secondly, it can target our information, stealing it, using it against us to sway our votes and shape our views. Thirdly, it can target our infrastructure, breaking into it through cyber attacks to undermine our confidence in our national institutions and make our society operate in a less than normal way. And fourthly, it will target our ideas, the ideas which are important to our national identity and national cohesion.
Well, Faisal, have there been any cases of such campaigns recently? Can you share some examples with us?
Okay. A key aspect of foreign interference is actually denial and deniability, but I can think of at least 2 possible examples. Firstly, if you recall the Tarex incident a few years ago, it was accompanied by quite a large number of online postings that were critical of Singapore and supportive of China. Likewise, early this year, during the maritime dispute between Singapore and Malaysia, there were similar number of postings which were critical of Singapore and supportive of Malaysia. So these are like astroturfing, in which it makes it appear as if more people are against Singapore and more supportive of a foreign state.
To sort of stoke up tensions, I
Exactly.
suppose. Okay,
Yeah.
well, give us an idea then, under Facebook's new measures, it wants more transparency with who's behind the adverts, wants sort of locations, identity and information like that. Will that be effective in preventing the sort of concerns that we have about this?
I'm sure it will be effective, but to what extent it remains to be seen, because these new measures are, like I said, it's new. It has yet to be tested, to be tried. But at the same time, we also need to watch out for social media accounts and chat groups which are not political advertisements, but at the same time they can be influential in shaping our views and stoking tension and fear. That's something which we need to look for.
That sounds like a bit more complicated as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, will Facebook's other measures like, disclaimers and also the ability to find out who's behind the ads, will these be effective, you think? Has it worked for other countries?
It's a bit hard to tell. Because when a hostile foreign actor uses information for foreign interference, they will try to circumvent these measures. They will try to flood the information space with a large volume and a large variety of this information. The question is whether these measures can handle, identify and take down this information in a speedy manner. If they can't, we need to use laws to get the companies to take them down immediately.
And what should users then, people on Facebook, yourself, myself, that see sort of content out there, do we then have to sort of educate ourselves to be a bit more circumspect about it?
Yeah. So basically, when we consume information online, we need to be careful if the information makes us feel anger towards other people, be it locals or foreigners. We need to be careful if the information makes us feel distrust towards national institutions, because it will degrade our social cohesion. And we shouldn't be actually spreading such disinformation, because we will qualify as what is called useful idiots, where we actually do the work for a foreign state and we don't even know that we're doing the work for them.
And I suppose the motivation or the agenda, if you like, of foreign entities that might be wanting to do this is not necessarily a clear goal. It's just to make people angry. It's not designed for any one particular thing. It's just to sort of muddy the waters.
That's right. It's like a protracted campaign. The objectives are not clear, but the intent is quite clear. The actions are clear, but we do not know what exactly they want to achieve.
Well, given this, Faisal, what else do you think is needed to ensure that, Singaporeans, all of us really don't fall prey to foreign interference?
Well, we need a grand strategy for such things. We need a grand strategy for countermeasures that involves everybody in the society, in the nation, the government, the private sector, the people. We need to watch out for things that can be our vulnerabilities. Address these vulnerabilities so that the foreign actor cannot misuse it, exploit it against us.
Right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your insights with us, Faisal. And we've been speaking with Muhammad Faisal Rahman, who is Research Fellow at the S. Rajaratnam School of International Studies.